Hi, I'm Alan Ross. We're here at the RE Plus Conference and Exposition. We're talking to thought leaders about the future of the energy economy. So join us and enjoy. I am with Adabre Frank. Thank you for joining us, Adabre Frank.
Thank you so much for
I got
your
that
time.
right? Adabre
Fantastic.
Frank?
Exactly.
Okay, but
exactly.
I could call you Frank Adabre, you said.
You're free to do that. You're most
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
You are with Northlight Energy? No, excuse me, Northlight Solar.
Yes, of course.
Out of Ghana.
True.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the company and a little bit how you got involved with it.
So I founded Northlight 13 years ago with the support of my wife.
Oh, wait, stop there. That's a big deal. So you and your wife formed the company 13 years ago?
Exactly.
Excellent.
So the idea at the time was that we live in a community that is close to about 50 kilometers away from grid access.
Okay.
And so we realized that there was a need for us to develop an opportunity to support the community. At the time...
Was the community powered? Were you getting power?
Not at all, no power at all at the time.
Right.
And so students and children who attended school in these areas, including clinics and hospitals and some small businesses, would normally have to travel miles away from the village to the town, city, to charge cell phones. And so our first solar device as a company, when we started, was only about 10 watts.
Yeah.
And we would travel from...
You were charging your cell phones on a 10-watt tower. That's excellent. Yeah.
And provided lights for community libraries to have schools, for clinics to have lights. We actually started from that level until we had the opportunity to then build up to a point where we provided vaccine fridges for clinics that do not have access to vaccines.
Okay.
And provided lights for school libraries in communities where there were no libraries at all.
Okay.
And so for us, it was more of a social intervention until we realized it was a good business. Yeah. And so we modeled our business around that social concept and then built into the company we are today.
That's excellent. So the idea was provide the things that people need. Power, which is what everybody needs in order to do that, was an ancillary thing, and now that's the primary focus.
Exactly. So this is a story. One time around Christmas, we're traveling around the community. We got to a clinic where a lady, a poor woman, was bitten by a snake. Okay. She was rushed to the clinic in the evening around 7 p.m. And the nurse had to use a torchlight and a candle to, provide some form of support for, this patient. Yeah. And then we realized that even in the process of doing that, they did not have vaccine available to provide immediate treatment. Okay. We also have situations where pregnant women are rushed to the hospital and do not have medication because they cannot store medicines in the community. These community clinics are about 10, 15 minutes, hours, 2-3 hours away from the main city. And it takes time for the nurses to go to the regional hospitals to requisition for medicines to go back. So if a person had malaria or some emergency, they die in the process. Yeah. So we then decided to increase our presence in the community, develop more in terms of our project scope, to then provide vaccine fridges, lights, and televisions for the nurses to stay in the community and work. Okay. But most of these nurses lived in town and wanted to enjoy the city life, but were moved to go and work in these areas. So the only way to keep them there and get them working and become productive is to provide these things for them. And
to provide lights and television.
Exactly. So that was a takeoff point for us as a company. Okay. Yes.
So Northlight Solar, you create solar farms, you manage them. What do you do as it relates to solar? So
our first area is to develop the business concept based on the need of the community. Okay. And this is tailored towards government policy and regulation. Okay. And so essentially we import these products based on the business models that we have. Okay. These products arrive, we assemble them and make sure that we get young men trained, we give them jobs, train them to go into the community and provide the services. Now within such communities, we, in addition to the distribution, we create a franchise model that allows especially women, young girls who either drop out of school because of teenage pregnancy, which is quite a problem, or because there are no access to education. are giving opportunity to train as technicians to be installers on our behalf as a company. So we're creating a lot of jobs in the community with this business model. Until about, I would say, 2016, we decided to take advantage of the urban market, because we realized that in the urban market, even those who had access to grid were paying a lot of money for tariffs or didn't even have stable power. So based on our experience and our exposure on the market, we decided to take advantage of the urban market. So currently our company has two areas where we focus. Off-grid, where we deal with the communities that do not have access to grid at all, and on-grid, where we do commercial, industrial, residential systems for customers who find it difficult to operate because the grid power is not stable or it's very expensive. Right. These are the two areas.
Primarily, everything you do is within Ghana?
Yes, we've had a couple of projects outside Ghana in Ouagadougou. This we did with the Austrian government, where they wanted to reach some remote communities. So we had to go into Ouagadougou, which is a neighboring country, because of the expertise we had built in country. We've done some other projects a little in Senegal, which also is a neighboring country. So within the sub-region, we've done quite a number of projects, including Nigeria, where we've done a couple of off-grid projects based on the same business model. I think in 2012, we had the opportunity to work in Sri Lanka, because we had developed a concept that was interesting, that our government wanted us to discuss with our colleagues and vendors in Sri Lanka for them to adopt. And for us, that was an opportunity for us to showcase how much we had done in the community and in the industry as a company.
So it's almost like you're creating microgrids. So you create the power to be able to use in the community, but you go beyond that. Now, let me take it back. You start with the problem is they don't, you don't have good medical, you don't have education, you don't have a lot you can do without power.
Exactly.
And then you create the power in order to then support that.
Correct.
That's an excellent concept. There's a whole lot of the world that needs that, right?
Correct.
Are you supported by the